Right, let's just see if the sound is working. Right, let's just see if the sound is working. Okay, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to jikGeek. Welcome to our MCU Marvel special. Lots to talk about today. It's been a while since we've done one of these, so yeah, buzzing to get into it. Apologies about the background. The room's a bit messy, but yeah, just been busy few weeks, to be fair. And if you're following on the community tab, you'll know the custom PC is in build. The PC is in the shop. So yeah, found a way to stream off another laptop I've got, and yeah, so unsure how today's going to play out, but we'll see what's going on. If you join us in the chat, I've got you on the right, yeah, so I can follow you throughout the stream, and yeah, lots to talk about. We've got the Secret Invasion finale to go through. What a shit show that was. CGI Fest. As usual, as per Marvel, they should just scrap all Disney content and just start again. Let's just show off the Marvel shirt. Yeah, Disney, Marvel should just scrap making TV because, my God, it was disastrous. Sounds looking good. Great. We've got a poll in the chat as well, so feel free to let me know your thoughts on Secret Invasion. Personally, it wasn't as bad as She-Hulk. It was better than She-Hulk. It was better than Miss Marvel, but fucking hell, the what's her name? The bar isn't set very high with these. Yeah, with these shows. So I don't know. I'd probably put it up there as, I don't know. It's probably third, fourth best, maybe. I mean, Nick Fury was decent here and there. Gia and Talos were decent here and there. I thought the villain Gravik was a letdown. I thought he was very bad. I mean, he was like lopsided. He was one-sided. Oh, his only motivations only come out towards the end as well. So, God, it's like trying to pick how you want to die, really. Jesus. Picking between bad and worst. I mean, what have we got? We've got the Scarlet Witch one. That was a disastrous at the end. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'd probably say it was as bad as that. Loki, it was as bad as that. I think they're all bad, if I'm honest. I don't think there's been one decent Marvel TV show. And I know people like Marvel TV shows, right? And that's good for you. I'm glad. I really am glad that you enjoy them, because I wish I could. And I'd go as far to say I'm jealous, because I would love to like these shows. I really would. I would really like to enjoy them. I wish they were better. I wish they were more coherent. I wish they were more integrated into the wider MCU story. And I just wish there was better quality, and the stories were better, and it didn't shit on men, and it didn't shit on their own characters, because that's what they've been doing. They've been poorly representing their legacy characters. I mean, my God, let's just take Secret Invasion as the main thing here, which was from start to finish absolutely shitting on Nick Fury. Why would you do that? Why would you belittle and take the piss out of and make fun of one of your better known legacy badass characters. Now, I'm very disappointed in how they treated Nick Fury. I'm equally disappointed about how much they raised Gia in that final episode. Now, look, spoilers ahead, right? Because this is going to deep dive into series 1 of Secret Invasion. We probably won't talk about all of the episodes because we've done them to death on the reviews. Check them out if you haven't already. They'll be on the channel. They'll be high up on the channel somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, what can I say? It was a 30-minute episode. It was incredibly rushed. We didn't get all of the answers we wanted. Yeah, we got Gravik's motivation, which was pretty bloody shallow. We got Nick Fury talking, a lot of talking, and not a lot of doing. I mean, he shot Fury, he shot what's her name at the end, and that was kind of all he did. And he had that little romantic scene with his missus at the end with the spaceship. So, yeah, pretty disappointing. Let me know what you think, though, because I am aware there's been a mixed reaction to Secret Invasion. Mostly negative. And I have hate watched this show since, I would probably say, episode 2. Episode 1 was probably the best of the Bad Bunch. That ending of episode 1 was probably the best part of this entire show. I would say it was probably the most unexpected part of this entire show. It was the only time I thought that the villains were serious and they could do some serious damage. What I expected them was to kick on from that and to get worse and worse and worse. But we didn't see any of that. We didn't see any of Gravik's plans come to life. He was all mouth, he was all talk, and quite frankly, he was very disappointing. I was hoping at least something impactful for the MCU would have happened at the end of this. Now, I guess I can eat my words with the president declaring war on Skrullos and all of the Skrulls. But to be quite frank, I don't see where that fits in with phases 5 and 6, maybe in the Marvels. We'll get onto that trailer in a bit, by the way. So, yeah, Secret Invasion, absolute CGI fuckfest towards the end, as predicted, as per the rest of the Marvel shows. And it left an incredibly bad taste in my mouth. I've not enjoyed episodes 2 to 6 at all, really. The Harvest was a cop-out MacGuffin in this episode, and it's opened up a massive can of worms, which makes me very uneasy going into phases 5 and 6, because technically now we've got Captain Marvel, which she's regarded as some super badass who can take on anyone. And now we've got a second Captain Marvel in Gaia or whatever her name is. It's kind of introducing superheroes that are a bit almost too powerful and almost undefeatable, and they've got no weakness. And a typical Mary Sue, a typical female character from the last few years, 4 or 5 years. Now, look, I know I don't like to touch on the woke and all that stuff here, but we've just introduced another Mary Sue into the MCU, into superhero films, and it's not good. It really isn't good. So, really disappointed with Secret Invasion, really disappointed end to end with the whole show, really disappointed with episode 5. Apologies we didn't get that review out. I was away on holiday for the missus' birthday, but And apologies, we haven't got episode 6 review out. I've been struggling to get the PC build complete with the builders. That's been delayed, so it's delayed obviously the reviews, but hence why I've kind of thought long and hard about how we can get even just a live stream out, just to get some thoughts out about the finale, because my God, massively disappointing. So what do we have then? We had the 3 plot points. We had what we thought Nick Fury went to see Gravik. That was a bit of as usual, a CGI mess. We had the Rhodey reveal after that, finding out where he was. We had Sonya and Fury and the President taking on Rhodey, and whether they were Skrulls looking after Rhodey and the President, I don't really know. I don't think they were. But we had the Rhodey reveal in front of the President as well. So the President finding out and being embarrassed by the fact that Rhodey has been a Skrull all this time. Now, the fact that he went on to then declare war against all of the Skrulls means a few things. He was either embarrassed by the fact that he'd been guarded by Skrulls for the past so many years or months. They'd obviously infiltrated critical parts of the government, not just the UK government, but worldwide government. And that's obviously bad. But I think it's just a bit much to declare war. Now, we saw scenes of the beds and all of the shining beds with all of the people that have been abducted and taken over by Skrulls at the end. So it's left a can of worms open, and I mean, it's not exactly a very exciting can of worms. I couldn't give a shit about the Skrulls, really. And anything related to Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers is a hell no in my eyes. And it shouldn't be like they shouldn't have any more shows, any more films about it, because she's just such a disastrous character. And yet they're trying to build the bloody MCU around her. She's arguably the leader of the MCU at the moment. Which is an utter embarrassment, if you ask me. So, yeah, didn't like it at all. Secret Invasion, really disappointed. Really rushed. Really rushed. A lot. I mean, the CGI looks so bad. And Sonya, my God, another performance that shits on men unnecessarily. You just don't need to. You don't need to be obnoxious. She thinks she's funny and she's not. Yeah, she's on Fury's side. I don't care if she's a goodie or a baddie. She was just a poorly written, poorly executed, unnecessarily negative character. I wish I had something good about this to say, because I was really pumped up for this show. I thought we were going to get some Winter Soldier vibes, but all we got basically was typical Disney Marvel crap shows, crap quality, crap story, crap acting, apart from Fury, bad new characters. We got some wokeness. We got some bullshit MacGuffins, a bad villain as well, because I really can't name a good villain from any of these that we've seen. Agatha Harkness was bad. Whoever that was from Winter Soldier, Captain Soldier, Winter Falcon, whatever it was. What else? Loki, whatever was going on there. Was it the TVA? Was it Kang? God knows what's going on with Kang right now anyway. So he's up in the air. So it had all of the makings of a typically bad Marvel show. And then obviously, so we had the President piece. We had the Fury piece, which actually turned out to be Gia. We had then the reveal of all of these faces that were that were Skrulls all along. They were in Skrullos, and they'd been abducted somehow. And then what else did we have? Oh, and then we had the finale between Fury and his missus, and they go off back to, I imagine, Saber in the sky, and they go off to see about this whole peace treaty between, was it the Kree and the Skrull? I weren't really paying much attention, to be honest, at the end of that. So they make up, they kiss and make up at the end. Not impressed. It was rushed as well, and there was just little lack of context, lack of character and plot development, lack of detail. It was all very shallow as well. It was like, right, here's the harvest. You put the harvest in the machine. The harvest gives us all powers. And considering, here's another thought I've just had as well. Considering Gravik had the kind of initial Super Skrull abilities and the harvest, surely he should have been better, bigger, faster, stronger. Not to quote the Marvels, by the way. He should have been better and stronger and had more powers than Gia, because technically Gia shouldn't have had those powers, unless I've forgotten that Gia was given the Super Skrull powers, because I didn't think they did. Power David, good to speak to you, man. Good to hear from you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you joining as well. Really do. Glad you can be a part of jikGeek in the week this week. And yeah, no problem. You got to sign off, man. Like, if you're joining us in the chat, just like Power David, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and let me know what you think in the poll in the chat as well, because quite frankly, I'm guessing everyone's either going to think it's the worst MCU show or they didn't watch it. Now, we have been doing community posts for the whole of the season, and what's evident is the fact that more and more people have been switching off episode by episode. That's the clear trend here, that more and more people have gone from seeing it as the best MCU show or the best MCU episode in this series to it either being mid, worse, or didn't watch it. And for me, that either means they've checked out, they thought it was just getting progressively bad, or it's just a run-of-the-mill, poorly executed, bad quality MCU show, just like the rest. And to be quite fair, I agree with you all, because that's what it was. It was mid as fuck. It was boring. At times, there was a lot of walking and talking, and I know we touched up on that on I think it was the episode 2 review. So, yeah, just same shit, different show, really. And just not feeling it. It was just, I was just massively disappointed. I was expecting Winter Soldier, and what we got was Captain Falcon and the other guy. That's the level of quality we got. So, yeah, rant over for now. But what does it open up? It opens up a few doors, right? Now, do I want these few doors opened? Quite frankly, I don't care. We've got the Kree versus the Skrulls peace treaty. We've got whatever the deal is between Sonya and Gia with the new powers. Why we need Gia in the MCU, though, is beyond me. I mean, if anything, what they should have done is have Captain Marvel make an appearance and have Captain Marvel basically take out Gravik, because what we don't need is any more Mary Sues, any more overpowered superheroes. And to be quite frank, Gia with this new harvest power she's a bit too powerful. Now, I don't know if that's book canon. I don't think it is, because I've never heard of Gia being a super duper Skrull and taking this harvest thing. So I don't think it's book canon. It feels like she's some next level. It feels like she's some next level Captain Marvel. It feels like the powers are unwarranted. The powers are not justified. It was a bit of a bullshit MacGuffin to even spring out of nowhere as well. No one knew about the harvest until episode 5. No one knew that they were collecting all of this DNA. Yeah, it just feels a bit overpowered for me. And that's the problem with introducing characters like this, because they almost become a bit too good and undefeatable. And without, like, a hero without weakness is almost a boring villain, is almost a boring superhero. Like Captain Marvel, technically undefeatable, and that's boring. Like, even if we look at DC, even Superman has been defeated by Darkseid in the past. In majority of the, especially the animated films, Superman is defeated one way or another. He has weaknesses. Superheroes like Captain Marvel, and I'm going to imagine quite possibly like Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau, are going to get to this level where they're going to have a lack of weakness. Good to have you back with us, Power David. Great to have you with us. So the fact that they've, introduced another OP superhero, super heroine, is just, it's not necessary. They're not balanced. They're too powerful. And what do you do with them? Who do you put up against them that could give them any sort of challenge? Now, like I said, they shouldn't have brought in the harvest. They should have had Fury contact Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel could have swooped down, took Gravik out, and that's it. Done. Job done. Job's a good one. Done. That would have been the end of Gravik. But no, they had to introduce a bullshit mechanic. They had to put another female character on a pedestal. They had to introduce another OP superhero. God knows, honestly. And if she doesn't turn up in the Marvels, then I don't know where Gia is placed within this universe, because it's just, it's like, it just reminds me of Captain Marvel's role in Avengers Endgame. She came down, she destroyed the massive ship, she helped try and get the glove off Thanos, and it was almost kind of a get out of jail free card. And now we've introduced another one. We've introduced another get out of jail free card for Fury to contact. And it's just, it's not justified. I'm really disappointed by Marvel that they've gone down this path, because there's plenty of other ways that they could have gone about defeating Gravik. My God, you could have give Nick Fury some sort of super Skrull serum or some sort of temporary powers to take out Gravik. That would have been cool. Or you could have, as I explained in my episode 4 review, you could have had Rhodey been evacuated from New Skrullos and saved, and then he could have donned the Armor Wars gear, the Iron Man suit or whatever suit he's got, and then he could have taken out Gravik that way, because I reckon he probably could have taken him out. So there's a number of things that they could have done. That's a good point, the Power David. The fact that we've now had, I think it's basically confirmation that Rhodey was not Rhodey during the events of Infinity War in Avengers Endgame. I believe that Rhodey was a Skrull, which is absolute bullshit in my eyes. So that means, right, what does that mean? That means that Rhodey doesn't know about Thanos. He doesn't know about the Infinity Stones coming together. He doesn't know about the end of the world. He doesn't know about Tony saving everyone. He doesn't know about Tony dying. He doesn't know anything that's happened since. I mean, that's probably a blessing, but that kind of ruins Rhodey's character arc. It kind of ruins Rhodey's story. It ruins him as a character because he was there when he died. It was very emotional when Tony died. Rhodey was there when he died. And to be quite honest, it's just another sour piece of this pie. It's just another cock up from Disney Marvel about how all of this is integrated and how all of this connects as a universe. It's gone literally. I'm not saying that they intended for Rhodey to be a Skrull in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, but I think they have recognized that there's a gap there to be exploited. And what they've done is that they've exploited the fact that it's possible, it was a potential for Rhodey to be lifted from Civil War, lifted from Civil War, captured by the Skrulls, and has been locked in whatever that machine was ever since. But that don't wash. That just feels that. Oh God, yeah, they've massively screwed up there. I mean, the fact that it's if they turn around and they say that that's canon and he's been there ever since the end of Civil War, nah, it's just not on. That's telling me that they haven't got a clue what they are doing. They haven't got a Scooby-Doo, or they're trying any way they can to either mess up what's happened since Endgame on purpose, or just wreck male character storylines. There must be one of them two, or they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, we've already had some uptake on the poll in the chat. Thanks for that. I don't actually blame you if you didn't watch episodes 5 or 6. I really don't, because I struggled with both. I really did. And I mean, I struggled with the whole show. I struggled since episode 2. I thought it was really boring. But like I said earlier, I wish I would have enjoyed this. I wish it was good enough to be enjoyable, to at least be half enjoyable. At some point, I didn't even enjoy WandaVision. I didn't. This feels like the ending feels exactly the same as WandaVision. The whole show, though, feels the same as Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The rambling and the politics and the wokeness feels a lot like Loki. What else have we had? Miss Marvel, didn't watch that. And I implore everyone else that didn't watch that either. What else? We've had... What other shows have we had? I'm checked out. Hawkeye, didn't watch that either. No love for that secondary character, because it wasn't the Hawkeye show. It was can't even remember her name now. The bow girl, the young lass. Listen, Power David, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for joining in the chat. Appreciate the love and support as always. Enjoy your evening, whatever you get up to, and I'll catch you on the next one. We'll try and get out the Secret Invasion. Probably do a series review, and we'll include a Phase 5 and Phase 6 review in there as well. So yeah, appreciate the love and support as always. Take care. Right, what else we got to talk about today? Because I think we've ranted about Secret Invasion for what, half an hour now. So we've got Secret Invasion to go through, which we've just gone through. And if you do join us in the chat and you want us to go back to ranting and raving about Secret Invasion, just let me know. We've got, we're going to take a look at what's happening in Marvel Phase 5, looking at what that means for the upcoming shows and the upcoming films, because I know there's been a couple of tweaks. We're going to look at Deadpool 3 rumors, and then we're also going to be reacting to the Marvel's trailer. Now, I have watched it, so it's not a blind reaction, and I don't think I'll be able to cast it on screen as like a joint thing as we usually do, but what I will be able to do is just showcase my reaction to it. And of course, we're going to make sure that we don't get copyright strike, because I know on the last JGITW in the week we had the stream pause because we it picked up that we were watching copyrighted content. Anyway, so we've done the Secret Invasion rant, but feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to drop your thoughts about on the poll as well. I think the poll's still in the chat. I think it is. Should be anyway. It's on my screen. Let me know what your thoughts were about the show. And we've got Marvel Phase 5. We'll try and get the Phase 6 roster up as well. Although I think I kind of know what's on that. We've got Deadpool 3 rumors, leaks to go through from Reddit. So either pause for that and rejoin us if you don't want to be spoiled with those. What else? Yeah, like I said, we've got the Marvel's trailer reaction, and then I think we'll wrap it up from then. Right, let's just make sure the chat's working fine. Yeah. Just going to see if I can make the poll a pinned message. So just bear with me. No. Okay. Yeah, it just says M poll. Okay. Hopefully you'll be able to see that anyway. I mean, it says the poll's still active anyway. Right then, so Phase 5, let's have a look, because there's been a few shuffles recently. What with release dates, Disney Marvel pushing stuff back. We've had the writer's strike. We've also now had the actor's strike, which is going to cause massive delays. What else? We've also had the negative reaction to the most recent Phase 5 products, and I'm going to call them products because that's what they bloody well are. We've had the recent negative reaction about Kang. We've had Jonathan Majors, being a bit of a naughty boy, or apparently being a bit of a naughty boy. So I think that's kind of put a bit of a Debbie Downer and a bit of a pause on all things Kang and all things multiverse. What else? So yeah, so we've had the Kang stuff, we've had the poor uptake, we've had the strikes. I'll say the poor uptake, the poor quality as well. We can probably wrap that up as well. So those are probably the three main drivers around some of the Phase 5 release date reshuffles. Now, yes, Phase 5 is underway, and there's kind of no pause to Phase 5, but what they do is they just push it forward. So by the looks of things, and that's obviously having an impact then on Marvel MCU Phase 6, which I'm going to try and get up the roster. So even if we have to go to, yeah. So what this has done is it's pushed forward even Phase 6, because I think originally what Kevin Feige had said was, when was the original? I'm sure the original date for Avengers Secret Wars was like 2026. Yeah, it was originally set for May the 1st, 2026. But now, because of all of these factors, it's been moved to basically the same time in 2027. So it's been pushed forward a year. But let's start with Phase 5. So what have we got? So we've just had Secret Invasion finish. Massively disappointing. Really subpar. Mid as anything. Massively CGI fuckfest finale. And to be quite honest, I couldn't care less where any of those storylines go. Right? I never want to see Gia because she's overpowered. She's a Mary Sue in my eyes. I never want to see Sonya again. I couldn't care less what happens with Nick Fury, although we do know he's in the Marvels. That's coming later on in Phase 5, and we'll get to that in a moment. Gravig's dead, and Gravig was one of the most disappointing villains we've had across the whole of, I've got to admit, actually, I heard some reviews today, and they were saying, is Secret Invasion one of the worst, if not the worst, MCU show? And it's probably got a case to be had, because the story was boring as anything. The acting was terrible. The villain was boring. The finale was short and disastrous and just CGI. So, yeah, you probably got a case to be had there. So we've had Secret Invasion. That's wrapped up. The thing is now, we've got a massive delay until, when is it? October 6th, 2023. Now, that's when we get Loki Season 2. Now, the thing with Loki Season 2 is it's plagued by the fact that this was, I imagine, finished before we got the whole Jonathan Majors fiasco. It was also finished before we had the reaction to Kang being an extremely subpar villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And as well, we've also had the impact from the writers and the acting strike. So we don't know where that's going to go. We don't know how that's going to impact the multiverse saga. We don't know how that's going to impact any of these stories in Phases 5 and 6. That's probably a statement across the board for the rest of the multiverse saga. What we do get to look forward to, though, is, and I mean this with the most sarcasm ever, is more of Loki and more of Sylvie. Now, I did watch Loki Season 1. I don't think the channel was live at the time, so we didn't do a review. It would have gone exactly the same way that the Secret Invasion review went, which would have been hate watched, because that was boring. That was like basically the Sylvie show. And equally, the ending was so disappointing to me, it was untrue. it was almost like a build up for nothing. So I'm not looking forward to Loki season 2. I don't particularly know of who, or what I'm trying to get at is I don't particularly see there being any hype for this, because if Kang is, I guess, the main villain in this, then, well, basically, we already know that he's a bit of a disastrous villain, in terms of if he can be defeated by Ant-Man and the Wasp, then Loki shouldn't have a problem. I mean, Loki is probably, I don't know, same power level, probably even, I mean, he's a god for almost. He's the brother of Thor. So Loki shouldn't have a problem with Kang. And it doesn't fill me with excitement. It doesn't. I'm not hyped for this. I'm not hyped for Loki. I'm not hyped for seeing Sylvie again. The fact that they completely emasculated and shit on Loki in season 1, they're going to have to do a lot of recovery work to get him back to peak Loki, where he was at the end, well, at the start of Avengers Infinity War. So yeah, not hyped about that whatsoever. Thank God we've got a few months now, a bit of a detox from all this Marvel, because whilst there is arguments to be had that we are under a phase of superhero fatigue, personally, it's more bad superhero film fatigue, because, and the one exception to all of this is Spider-Man No Way Home. That come out between a bunch of really shit Marvel products and another bunch of really shit Marvel products. And the fact that the only thing good coming out of this phases 4 and 5 so far is, yes, partly done by Sony and Marvel, but was good. You know, it was quality in terms of acting, storytelling, and tying in with the overall MCU multiverse theme as well, mind you. It was in between other bad products. And what else? It ended the film in a way that was both satisfying for the character, for the future of the kind of Superman, Spider-Man story, but also the MCU as well. And it made nearly $2 billion at the box office. So if all of these products were of that caliber and of that quality, and that had the care and love and attention and the story, and the villains were good and the acting was good and it tied in well with the MCU, then the rest of them would have made upwards of $1 billion as well. I have no doubt. But the fact that they were poor, then they were poorly received because they were poor, not because anyone's got a vendetta against Disney. We want good product. If good product is given to us, we will react positively. I mean, another example of this is House of the Dragon. Now, Game of Thrones, the end of that couldn't have been any worse, right? It has almost ruined my love for Game of Thrones, that final season. The fact, though, that they have brought back this brand in an extremely quality way hasn't redeemed what has gone on before, but it's just shown that if you put out something quality, people will respond to it in a very, very positive way. So take note, Marvel. All we want is good storytelling. All we want is coherent stuff that we saw in phases 1, 2, and 3, because it wasn't perfect, but it was simple. It didn't shit on the characters. It built them up. It built them up individually. It built up villains, i.e. Thanos, etc. It built up a grand story as well. And each of the individual stories contributed to the overall story as well, this overall kind of Infinity Saga. That's not happening. MCU phases 4, 5, and 4 and 5 at the moment are all over the place. So that's my thoughts on Loki season 2. The Marvels were going to react to the trailer because I think it looks absolutely disastrous and it looks unfinished. CGI looks poor. Have no love for any of the characters. We're just going to see how bad it's looking because there's a second trailer. Echo, I know that's being now dropped all at once on Disney Plus. This is going to, because this has been produced, they're just going to release it just for some views, but this will be forgotten about. I absolutely know that this will be forgotten about 100%. What else have we got? We've got Daredevil Born Again. Now, the fact that they absolutely destroyed my boy in the She-Hulk series is a disgrace to this character. The groundwork that Netflix put in for this character and Charlie Cox put in for this character and Vincent D'Onofrio put in for Kingpin, all of this groundwork to be shit on by some of the worst TV ever laid to screen in She-Hulk is just a desecration of this character. What they need to do is remove any sort of canon, any sort of Daredevil canon from She-Hulk and pick up where Daredevil season 3 did. Now, I've heard rumors that it's not going to. It's kind of a bit of a like a reboot. I've also heard otherwise, though, that it does take on almost like a Daredevil season 4 sort of thing. But the fact that it's called Born Again means that we could see some sort of reboot, or we could see maybe a cop-out in that Daredevil after the blip. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's kind of like Daredevil after the blip and he's born again. It's like a new life for him. Who knows? What I want to see, though, is the Netflix Daredevil and not the Disney Plus Daredevil. Whether we'll get that, I don't think we will. After seeing what they did to him in She-Hulk, my confidence in this being good is extremely, extremely low. Right, what else? So we've got Deadpool 3. So we'll be going through a few rumors shortly. It's probably the only product in Phase 5 that can save the MCU. And the reason they can do that is because they've got Cable. They can introduce what's the Star Girl from Doctor Strange, America Chavez. They could probably bring her in as well. But Cable, I think, can time travel. I think we learned that in Deadpool 2. So that'll be interesting. So we'll skip over that. Captain America Brave New World, or should I say Captain America, aka Falcon, Captain America Brave New World. If it's anything to go by what Falcon and the Winter Soldier was, then this is going to be another shit MCU film. Much like the Eternals, much like Scarlet, the rest of Phase 4, basically. It's just going to be a rehash. What this could set up, though, is the Thunderbolts. Now, I say that with confidence and excitement. And to be quite honest, I have no love for any of the characters in the Thunderbolts. But if Captain America, New World Order, Brave New World, or whatever you want to call it, can set up this street-level Avengers-esque film, and Thunderbolts is basically a street-level Avengers, then that's another way that they could build, they could start to rebuild this MCU brand. Because Phase 4, we didn't have an Avengers film. Phase 5, there is no luck of having an Avengers film. So either Captain America Brave New World or the Thunderbolts needs to be some sort of Avengers film. It doesn't have to be called the Avengers, but it needs to be an Avengers or a Civil War-esque film where we get multiple characters. Now, what I would love is a street level. So you've got the Thunderbolts, but they're going to be taking on Spider-Man, Daredevil, Captain America, i.e. Falcon, the Winter Soldier. You could even have Black Panther show up. You could even have who else have we got? You could either have the Young Avengers show up as well. So, you know, there's a real good roster there of characters to bring in to that street level view. Thunderbolts, not really going to talk much about that because I've got no understanding of how this is even a film. So yeah, where were we? So we've got Captain America: Brave New World. I reckon that's going to. I hope it does set up a street level Avengers film, because if it doesn't, it'll just be another crappy Marvel's film. And if it's basically Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier season 2, well, dead. Them characters are dead in the water. Dead. Thunderbolts, like I said, not going to talk much on that because really I've got no love, no thoughts about any of the characters in that show. It's a hodgepodge of villains and goodies from some of the Phase 4 films. I've got no love for that. The only way that is a success is if that film is the street level Avengers film, a bit like Civil War. That's the only way that film can be any good. What else have we got? We got Blade. Now, I've heard mixed things about Blade in terms of whether it's going ahead or not. What's his name? I think it's is it Blade 2026? Let's just get Mahershala Ali. Now he's he's a decent actor, to be fair. He's meant to be playing Blade. I've got faith in him being a good Blade. What I haven't got faith in is it being a good Blade story, because technically we've already got Blade in the MCU. If you think about it, Blade was the first MCU film. So what we could have is this being a follow-up, as almost like either a passing of the sword from Wesley Snipes over to this new Blade, or him just picking up the sword as if he was Blade all along. That's what could happen. But I've heard that's been delayed, maybe even scrapped, because there was problems with the script. There was problems with the actors, getting them on board. There was problems with the director. And now, obviously, we've got the strikes. All of these layers now are starting to pile on the MCU. I mean, obviously, they're piling on the whole of Hollywood, but this is, I guess, one of the issues with planning so far ahead. Ironheart, that's going to be scrapped in my eyes. I don't think we're going to get an Ironheart film. I think that'll be scrapped because of the strikes. I think cost cuts, they'll get rid of it. She was a poorly received character from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I mean, the concept of Ironheart is an embarrassment. It's a disgrace on Tony Stark, on Iron Man. Agatha Covenant of Chaos, previously titled Agatha House of Hardness. This is another one that's going to be scrapped as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if What If Season 2 is either pushed to Phase 5 because they need Phase 5 products, Phase 6, sorry. Because at the moment, the only three things that we've heard in Phase 6 is Fantastic Four, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. Those are the only three products that we've heard. We have heard rumors about a Shang-Chi film, but that comes after Secret Wars. Who's going to give a shit about that? I don't know. We've also heard that there's going to be rumors about a Spider-Man film after Secret Wars. Again, who's going to really give a shit about that? I don't think anyone will. So the only three products we've heard about are Fantastic Four and the two Avengers films. Now, I'm not being funny. We need an Avengers films before then, because to have all the Avengers culminate in Kang Dynasty seems a bit rushed. And then having almost like the end game being Secret Wars, yeah, it just doesn't seem like enough time to bring all the Avengers together, make some sort of coherent story. What I imagine is, though, is Kang Dynasty is going to be, it's basically going to be Infinity War. Kang's going to go around mopping up all the Avengers, as in killing them left, right, and center. And then it's going to be left to probably a ragtag of a few of them to go back in time or to go through the multiverse to collect all of the different Avengers from all of the different timelines. And we're going to see every single one, including Blade and Daredevil and Elektra, all of them as well, and Ghost Rider. And we'll have probably the X-Men from Days of Future Past. We'll have the X-Men from the Daredevil film. We'll have the Fantastic Four from before. We'll have Tony and Cap from phases 1, 2, and 3. And then it's all going to be the big battle likely on Battle World in Secret Wars as well. What I would like to see, though, and we did a poll on this the other week on the channel, is who should be the multiverse saga main villain. And the unanimous decision was that Doctor Doom should be the multiverse villain. And I absolutely agree. Now, whether we get that in Secret Wars, again, it'll be a pretty rushed thing, though, or whether they introduce Doctor Doom within the Fantastic Four to have him come back maybe in Secret Wars. That'd be cool, because I'd rather see Doctor Doom over Kang. I don't think anyone knows who Kang is, appreciates what he can do. He's already been defeated multiple times, either by his own people or by Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is a bit shit, really. So yeah, Doctor Doom would be cool. But my point to this is, after Blade in 2025, which I think that's a long way to go still, then we've got this massive gap between then and, yeah, we've then got like 3 months until Fantastic Four. Now, whether that's the first product in Phase 6, I don't know. But all we've got at the moment is these three films. Now, that either means What If's going to be cancelled or it's going to be moved to Phase 6. Who really cares about What If, though, because it didn't have any impact on the MCU as a whole anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Now, like I said, Fantastic Four could introduce Doctor Doom. It could introduce, I don't think it'll introduce time travel, which is a good thing. It could introduce Galactus. It could introduce the Silver Surfer in a new rebooted fashion. I just hope they get the Fantastic Four right, because there's all this talk about like Adam Driver and Margot Robbie, and it just doesn't sit well with me. And they need to do it right. They need to do the script right. They need good actors, because really, Fantastic Four, X-Men, some sort of ragtag Avengers, this is the future of the brand. This is phases 7, 8, and 9. all three of those together. And if they don't do Galactus for 7, 8, and 9, I don't think we'll ever get Galactus. So they could introduce Galactus in Fantastic Four. They could introduce Doctor Doom. Could introduce the Silver Surfer. All three of them would be exceptional villains. Kang Dynasty, we've gone over. Secret Wars, that's going to end up on Battleworld. But the point to make about these is Kang Dynasty's now been pushed to 2026, and Secret Wars has been pushed to 2027. So we've got to wait 4 years. 4 years for Secret Wars. That's if we even bloody get it. If Marvel doesn't go bankrupt by then for all this crap product. So that's MCU Phase 5. That's up-to-date news for MCU Phase 5. Yeah, it doesn't look good, if I'm honest. I mean, I had big high hopes for Secret Invasion. That turns out to be crap. Loki Season 2 is not looking good. The Marvels looks a shambles. Echo's going to pass away like a fart in the wind. Daredevil has potential, but I don't think it will be any good. Deadpool 3 is the only thing to get excited for in Phase 5. Captain America Brave New World and the Thunderbolts, if they don't combine them for the street level Avengers, then they've wasted a great opportunity there. Blade, whether that goes ahead, nobody knows. Ironheart, Agatha, and What If, they could all be on the chopping blocks. Right. We've been streaming for over an hour. We're going to fly through these Deadpool 3 rumors. So this is your chance now. I'm going to put it in the chat. Going through Deadpool 3 rumors now. Potential spoilers ahead. Right. Okay, we're just going to fly through these speed round now. Right. Confirmed cast is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, obviously. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, hence the excuse me. Hence the thumbnail. We've got Vanessa returning. We've got Negasonic Teenage Warhead returning. We've got Yukio. I think she was in the first one. Was that the purple? Is that the purple girl with the fuzzy hair? I think so. We've got Colossus coming back. He was good. Blind Owl. I think he was from the first or the second film. I think he might have been the second film. Dopinder. Loved Dopinder. He basically made 1 and 2 partly successful, I think. The fact that we've got Jennifer Garner rumored to be coming back as Elektra is incredible. We've got someone called Peter, whoever that is. And then we've got a few TBAs. Now, these are coming from Marvel Studio spoilers on Reddit in that community. Feel free to go and check that out for yourself. So we've got some plot rumors now, which is Sabretooth from Deadpool before is rumored not to be returning for Deadpool 3. Channing Tatum has already filled the cameo as Gambit. So there's a potential rumor for Channing Tatum to be coming in as Gambit there. It's going to involve the TVA agents. So either Cable or the TVA is how they introduce this timey-wimey multiverse shenanigans. There's rumors about Sir Patrick Stewart and Serena McKellen coming back and obviously reprising their roles as Professor X and Magneto. That would be sick as fuck. That would be the cherry on the top. So Cable is rumored not to be in Deadpool 3, but his time machine is. Again, I did anticipate this. I thought it was either going to be the TVA, or it was going to be Cable, or it's going to be America Chavez. Could be all three, about how they get through the multiverse and through time. Halle Berry is in Deadpool 3. Wesley Snipes is not. So these are rumors. Another rumor about Halle Berry, Famke Janssen, and James Marsden will be reprising their roles as Storm, Jean Grey, and Cyclops, respectively, in Deadpool 3. That again would be sick as hell. That would be quality. Two of the cast members returning for Deadpool 3. One of from the Fox movies, one of them from the MCU. They're villains. Well, that could be anyone. Maybe Juggernaut. Maybe William Stryker. There'll be more than 2 Deadpool variants in Deadpool 3. Oh, that'd be cool. Matthew McFadden will be playing TVA agent named Paradox in Deadpool 3. Okay. Matthew McFadden. Is he from what's her name? Succession. Yeah. Fair play to him. Got a role on. He's a great actor as well. Anyway, back to the leaks. Disney Deadpool 3 will use Fox's disregard for continuity as a plot point. So going to take the piss out of the Fox series. Okay, that's good. That's a typical kind of Deadpool style film. Ben Affleck is rumored to be playing Daredevil in this film. That would be another sick point. See, this is the only reason why that this film is the only one to be hyped for in Phase 5. This film may arguably save Marvel. Parts of Deadpool 3 will take place during the timeline of the original X-Men trilogy. That'd be sick as hell. The younger cast from the X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past will not return in Deadpool 3 and will not visit their timeline. That is a shame, because that would be sick as hell as well. Ben Affleck was seen on the set of Deadpool 3. Well, we've just had that rumor there that he's playing Daredevil. That'd be cool. Hints that Brian Cox's William Stryker will be in Deadpool 3. He played a sick role, Brian Cox did in Deadpool in X-Men before. Absolutely loved his performance. What else? The Illuminati will be in Deadpool 3. That's a rumor. The Wonder of Earth 838 will be in Deadpool 3. I can't remember what 838 was. That the Illuminati Wonder Vision, maybe? The rumor of Wanda from the 616 possessing Wanda 838 is not true. Okay, so they can't do any of that shadow walking and whatever it was called. Jean Grey is in Deadpool 3. I'm presuming that it's the Jean Grey from the previous X-Men films. Hints that Chris Evans' Human Torch will be in Deadpool 3. That'd be cool. Hints that Nightcrawler will be in Deadpool 3. And Wanda will fight Jean Grey. Now, that's got potential to be a pretty good fight scene. So those are all of the Deadpool rumors. Few things that come to mind is this is going to be real X-Men heavy. This is going to tie in with potentially Loki, the TVA, and Kang, maybe. Unsure who the main villain is here. Maybe it's Kang. Who knows? Maybe it's some villains from the X-Men universe. And we're going to get street level MCU characters from before, like Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Jennifer Garner's Elektra. We're going to get MCU tie-ins as well with Wanda, potentially Fantastic Four from before as well. And yeah, it is looking. Oh, we're going to get the Illuminati as well. It's going to be heavy X-Men though. This is, which by the looks of Wolverine's costume, looks seriously badass. That's a quick run through of those, and I think we'll round off today with just going over the Marvels trailer. So I don't think I'll be able to cast it. Let's have a look if I can. No, I won't be able to cast it, so you'll just have to hear me react to it, I think. No, I won't be able to cast it, so we'll just have to. Okay, just wanted to see how that was going to play out. I don't think it's going to be very good, but it's only the Marvels, so we'll just go for it here. Oof, already. Any inclusion of Carol Danvers or Marvel, Captain Marvel in anything, just no. I hate. I really do. I've never warmed to this character. Never watched Captain Marvel, by the way. I think that's the nicest thing she's ever said to me. She's got no personality. So boring. Right. So I think that, from what I recall, the villain in this movie is going to be not a Skrull, it's a Kree, I think. Let's just double check. Marvel Kree. Yeah. Like Ronan, the Accuser. And I have watched this before, so it's not a blind reaction. This feels like the female version of Ronan the Accuser. So to be fair, off the bat, we know the motivation. You took everything from me. Bog standard, shitty little plot. Now, that looked like that there. Well, the armband that she has on looks very Miss Marvel-y, I must admit. And that staff looks very much like Ronan the Accusers. I mean, all of a sudden, they're hyping up like Monica Rambeau. I mean, where did she get her powers from in WandaVision when she went through the kind of the red plasma mist thing, which is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. So the fact that she's in this film and on par with Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel is a bit of a joke. And this kind of whole Freaky Friday thing, it's just so juvenile for me. It's not serious. It's not Marvel at all. It's just a poor, childish, immature storytelling. I don't think I'll be going to see this. Yeah, it just the whole was it Freaky Friday? Basically, Freaky Friday with superheroes, and there's three of them. So this could get wildly complex, unnecessarily complex. How they all end up in one scene at the end all together using their powers as well. God knows how that's going to work out. Oh, there he is, Nick Fury, back from the dead. So I mean, the fact that this came out, what's a cop out actually, and what's is just pathetic, is the fact that this trailer came out before the end of Secret Invasion. So it puts all sort of hope for anything happening to Nick Fury out of the window. We knew what was going to happen with Nick Fury. He survives. And the fact that he's back on Earth means probably the events of Secret Wars meant absolutely nothing. I wonder, like I said earlier, I wonder if Guy is going to be in this film. Oh, annoying. Can turn light into physical matter. Okay. If this doesn't bomb, I mean, there's all sorts of Reddit rumors, right, where this is going to make $1 billion. This is going to flop and make like $100 million. I actually don't know who this is for because no one tuned in for Miss Marvel. Monica Rambeau is basically like a C or a D list Marvel character. Everyone, especially women, hate Captain Marvel. I don't actually know the draw for this. It's probably because they've just made it and they have to bring it out. This doesn't also look like it's got anything to do with the multiverse saga. So how on earth they tie this in with Kang and the whole grand MCU plot? And that's one of the critical problems about most of these phases 4 and 5 products is none of them tie in with a coherent wider story like they did in 1 to 3. Again, we've seen all this before. It's like, give us something new. Like, I've got to admit, Spider-Man No Way Home gave us something new. It brought past villains into one world, and it brought past Spider-Man into one world. And that was something new. That was something exciting. And that's one of the reasons why it did so well. This just looks the same Marvel garbage that we've seen before. We have, yeah. This has got real Eternal vibes as well. And, well, look how well that did. The fact that she can do that means she shouldn't have a problem with the villain. She should just kick ass. I'm guessing this is the film where Monica Rambeau gets her true powers as well. And that CGI looks unfinished. Yeah, it's going to be a flop, massive flop. Not looking forward to it. Probably won't review it. If I do, it'll be hate watching. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there, folks. If you join us in the chat, thanks for having you with us. Thanks for your comments, likes, subscribes, and thoughts on Secret Invasion. Join us probably this week when we'll be getting the PC, the new custom PC build. Might even do a video on that, just showing you what kind of the build is, and you can have your say on it, and we can go through each of the bits that I've bought, because I've basically bought custom everything. Yeah, so thanks for the love. Thanks for the love on the Secret Invasion stuff recently as well, and the community posts. We'll have more Final Fantasy X No Sphere Grid as well coming shortly. Got a few bits to edit, and we'll be doing some serious NSG walkthrough episodes going forward with some quality graphics. Really looking forward to pumping out that content with some really good graphics. So really looking forward to that. Hope you are as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, tune us in for the next one. Thanks for joining. Take care.